What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Blockbox. I am Jervy, and I'm here with Griffin and Isaac. We're playing Danganronpa.
Here we are.
Right now, we are at trial, and we have discovered that Hifumi was not dead when we discovered his body.
And that I literally told y'all.
So we shall see how this thing resolves itself. The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi. What was that?
I was rendering the video, and somehow it
Oh, it started playing.
Alright, yep, the spotless hammer. That's what I thought.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it? Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems to be a murder weapon.
Wait, is that an actual thing?
Oh,
I got it! Yes!
No, that's right.
yes, first try again.
The murder weapon wasn't a justice hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
It was a hammer.
But seriously, a different weapon?
It wasn't a hammer. It was
a hammer from the
Doesn't
repository.
matter.
The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit
I didn't
murder.
even think about that. I was just like, I thought it was one of the Justice Hammers that had been like washed off, but wait, like if they were already played on, then it wouldn't have been.
If the hammer got covered in
Yeah.
Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma Files note about the wounds being similar.
Because they were covered up very easily.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used the hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him. Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought first, but... So, okay, what's our evidence this time?
Let's see.
Okay, no, we only have... Okay, so
We're gonna have to absorb something.
Okay. So let it run through once.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work
that's
together
probably
like
gonna be what
this.
we're gonna have to hit, so...
That is how the rule was explained.
Just remember not to hold it
But
when
that
you are
only
shooting
really
at them.
applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Well, keep that for now.
Oh, you didn't grab it. Remember, you can go down.
Even if more than
Down.
only the one
Okay.
who actually, assuming the rule holds true.
That is.
But that only really
In this case, however, there were two murders.
Let's cover it. Cool, okay.
Yeah.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive.
Yeah.
Assuming the rule holds true.
You did it right!
Yeah, let's go.
You absorbed and got it right.
Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, If only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime, and based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka.
So now does it make sense why he was willing to partake? Because he actually was the person who killed Taka.
So in this case, there wasn't
That's way too deep. I would have never fucking expected that.
Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual,
So it's more
a
just
similar
hero,
weapon
like,
used in
being
each crime,
uncontrolled weapons.
disappearing bodies.
Or being just
Yes.
set
Oh,
up.
so literally the only reason she had him, Celeste had him go into the suit was just so she could frame him.
By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful.
If there's anything I like about this trial, it's at least this, like, stretch of it.
You think so? I can't
Like,
help
from
but admire
Hifumi
its
wasn't
cunning.
actually dead
Still, their choice of
onwards,
accomplice
I'd say
seems
this trial is good.
odd.
Who knew Hifumi would make this trial interesting? The effort made to convince us the two murders were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning, which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing. Oh, soup!
Look who's calling the kettle black.
Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
True killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions and in the end murdered him. And the debate's up still now. The way the case is unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. Oh, is it
Well,
really? Do we have to select Kyoko?
It's time to select. No.
No.
Who is the person
Yeah.
that masterminded this whole
Yeah,
murder?
I know, we think it's Celeste, but well, how it's going right now, I'm just wondering if they want us to point towards Kyoko.
He's just saying she's really good at solving murders.
Well,
Here's my answer.
I was like, if you seriously got this wrong.
no, I was just seeing if the game wanted us to move towards that way.
So I'm
Like,
the
nope.
suspicious individual now, am I?
Yes.
I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying then is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi.
I mean, you did ask him to
Here
meet
comes my favorite part of the trial.
The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot!
Oh, there goes the accent.
Pardonnez-moi.
Oh,
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support
So
it.
she's faking her accent?
maybe.
Is that so?
Maybe her real name isn't even Celeste.
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
What is the...
Tell them,
only
Godo.
Celeste had in common? Paper. Encountering a suspicious individual.
Yeah, they're the only people that ever saw it.
The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Okay. Bruh.
Sorry.
As he said,
What are you
only
apologizing
Celeste
for?
and
What?
Hifumi
He
ever laid
just
eyes on the
continues
costumed
my point and
individual.
just like, shush, you have no good points. Proceeds to lay out what I just said.
Yeah.
If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but
rich, you're
suspect
poor,
what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw Let me breathe, okay. I saw a shadow. Something moving around at the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen.
We called her out first.
Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
blood-curdling scream. Ow!
Derby.
I'm sorry, I was lagging.
Oh.
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather. This is the time I said this. That was a rather.
Yeah.
scream for some-
Flashbacks way
I
too
saw
much
him.
to
The
use.
Stain's costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
Once
I'm gonna be
she'd
able to
done her job
perfectly,
of getting us all up to the physics lab,
I'm good.
I hope.
I'm gonna be able to perfectly replicate a French accent by the end of this.
it was time for her partner to get to work.
Oh. Isaac?
I did not mean to gurgle there, but you know what? It's okay.
Huh?
What was that?
That came from downstairs. It must have been. You feel me? He's in the office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back. Okay.
It's just like, yeah, we are not.
Divided
We've been
into
losing
groups.
it so many times.
So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
It's not even shown enough.
Celeste was precisely
It's not
the
even
one
good
who
enough for
proposed
that
we
for the
split.
Danganronpa community to meme it. Unlike something else that will be that'll be flashbacked on a lot later in the game.
Oh, I thought like similar to like the 11037 incident.
Well, that's also memed on, but
Then why
it's
didn't
just
we
because
split
it's
into two
hilarious.
groups?
Probably the hunting party. That seems much more interesting.
Very well. Then Makoto and Ina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I will leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko, Byakuya, and Sakura.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That
They
was to
described
signal
that as a
Hifumi, wasn't it?
blood-curdling scream.
It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead,
I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered.
And
You wanted to make
and
sure
she was
we
also
wouldn't
like,
have
he's
any
definitely
doubt
dead.
on
No,
why.
he's definitely dead.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kind of sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed.
Oh, and the reason why Hifumi would want to even do all this was because he was actually the one who got to kill Taka, so he thought,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm gonna just
So he
get all
thought,
this
oh,
stuff
hey,
done."
I'm gonna. Yeah, like, hey, we will both be the black and we'll both work together to cover for each other, and then he just gets killed.
Well,
It's like,
no, because because in the plane, he's the one doing the killing, so he's like, ha, you stupid Celeste, now I'm gonna get away, or something like that. And Celeste is just like, boom, dead.
Well, yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
But I think
Celeste?
she did tell him that she would have killed someone else as well, so they would both kill separate people, but she didn't say that she was.
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can
She
say
did
that
say,
that
she
one
did
little
say
slip
something.
up was
And
your
I don't
undoing.
think either of you caught it when she said it.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
Maybe. You didn't say anything.
They must be really enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die. Just like those guys. She didn't know about Taka.
Yeah, nobody told her that Taka was dead.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Can you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
She could just cover and be like, well, I count Hifumi as two guys, so you know. Yakuya said that Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. What is he alluding to? Alright. I don't know if this will be the last one or something. Okay, yeah, I don't think that's as relevant. So we'll probably have to absorb, but I don't want to say it.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it? What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Yeah.
All I said was, they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are all going to die. We are going to die, just like those guys.
Yes. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Yakuya already said this. So.
Pretty much
exactly.
laid this out.
And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations?
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
Well, if you and Hifumi were working together.
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on. And then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit.
What about this? Hifumi kept it on his head, so he kept it stable.
Does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi.
Hiro said that he
away.
pretty much fell asleep randomly, and then just woke up in the locker in the suit.
Yeah, when was his note though? Because they said at a specific time.
His note was at 1 a.m.
Okay, at 1 a.m. Okay, so she probably drugged him either way. She used him as like a setup.
If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Other explanations? If it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. Because he was already in on it, so...
Yeah.
Another possibility is...
Hifumi and the suspect are dancing. They had been drinking.
Oh, Hifumi is dragging the suspect away.
I got it! It's not a picture
I
of
thought
the
it was saying
suspect
vice
dragging
versa.
Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
Oh yeah, because he's like stressed out, like, oh, this thing is so heavy.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Celeste thinks she can prove that there's no way Hifumi is dragging the suspect away. Is that really possible? Ooh, there's so much to it.
Let's see.
This will take
The blueprint.
time.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
It's gonna be the...
Like I said, ridiculous.
That's what I said.
As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that. Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
Is it no way they're standing up straight? Said that you can bend at the waist.
You dressed me up in that suit.
Yeah, I can't bend at the
Then you
waist,
just draped me
so
across Hifumi and had him carry my weight!
might be the it might be the
You tried to make me
costume.
look like the bad guy!
I don't know.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
No, that's wrong.
Okay, cool.
Alright.
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that, because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
Oh, we're not flashing back to this. No, yeah, we've done this enough.
We've been to this place.
They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Because Hifumi was out for Taka from the start.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Oh, why are we going upside down?
Well, yeah.
Idiot. What do you mean, checkmate?
There goes the accent again.
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Hey, Hifumi, who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you?
Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name. Yasuhiro.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Right! But my name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
Hey, Mr. Naegi.
Oh!
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Hey, yo, at least this guy has respect. Like, he called me by last name.
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name.
I'm also confused what is on her index finger. Gold medal thing.
I don't really know what that is either, but...
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal, but he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply
His
to.
last name isn't necessarily her name, though.
And that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit. Come on! Enough with your idiotic
I like this voice actress more.
Yasuhiro is a
Yeah.
loser's name. Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Celeste still won't give up, so I have to do something to make her accept it. Oh, she's so mad, bro. Oh, e-handbook, yep.
Remember, because it shows your name when you open it.
So all she has to do is just like
Hifumi
open
was
the
trying to
e-handbook and
tell
she
us
can prove it.
something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
how many times do I have to tell you?
She's reacting like Debbie does in Game
Celestia
Changers.
Ludenberg, god damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending.
That does remind me of Debbie.
And since you have no way to contradict me,
No, it's wrong.
What'd she say? Yeah, it's like Debbie.
That's it.
Talking about
The handbook.
Yeah.
what?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
Oh, you ready?
Hold up. This absolutely to the healthy school life. Don't lose it. Good. Start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook. It has so many more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Oh, when you say like that.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Oh, fine then. Let me settle it. let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all
go.
your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
How far we are, because I think a lot of time, yeah, half an hour we got this.
Yeah, we can get through the rest of the trial.
Here we go. This should be easy. What?
Yeah.
The movie? Oh my goodness.
There's stuff from the first 2 cases in here.
What?
At least we know not to put in the things that are from the first 2 cases.
Oh, okay. So what is?
Alright. So that would be Celeste meeting with Hifumi, so...
Telling about...
I think that side is supposed to be the one where Hifumi is kind of like looking just to the side.
We'll get to it. Okay. Okay, so he's in here. He's like trying to meet up with us. Okay, let's go from the end.
Yeah, you can also remember you can click. You can I believe you can click on the question mark spots to get a hint as to what's supposed to go there.
Go back to the. Oh.
Okay.
What is that?
So that's
oh
him
my
with
goodness.
that's him throwing the blood everywhere.
This one. It's hard to tell.
Let's see. So that's just after Taka's dead. So.
Okay. Oh well, they already took the camera back, so.
Yeah.
Oh, why is this one so much harder? I thought it would be so. Oh, you're saying okay, him here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that one
have a
is.
good amount of hearts, so.
Yeah. We can take our time.
Yeah, no, that's from the beginning. That's from the first trial. Oh, and the wash.
Yeah, and that's from the second trial. Yeah.
Was there anything I missed?
1 o'clock. It was either. Okay, so it's either.
I think you might. Well, you might want to.
Are these two
switch those 2. You might want to do that. Yeah, because it met at 1 o'clock and then did whatever the hell they did to him.
Alright.
So this is... Oh, so that's where there's the camera. Because that's when they're taking the picture.
What?
We're on the closing statement.
Hold up. I just got lagged out, okay? I don't even know what happened. Like,
oh, I'm sorry. Wait, did you miss her breakdown?
Yes!
Oh no! That's like the highlight of the trial.
Yeah, she just completely.
Oh my god, can you find a bit me again?
She turns into
I'll
Debbie.
show it to you after.
She turns into Debbie from Survivor Game Changers. Yeah,
just Isaac later find a.
Okay, next he's probably looking at the
gameplay and then show it to me.
Probably they.
That's the one that was used to kill Hifumi.
Oh yeah. Okay, so it has to be. Okay, so this one wasn't 2. It had to be 4. So it has to be...
Yeah, because that's the one that Taka was killed with.
Yep. There we go.
Next. This would probably be Justice Hammer 2.
This
would be, I think. Oh, that would be when he gets the blood on the hammer, on the 3rd one. Right. That should be when he gets the blood on the 3rd hammer.
Oh yes, then this is okay. Yeah. 3rd hammer.
Yeah. And then.
Yeah, so we're running out of stuff, so that's good.
Yeah.
So then, okay, so
that. He should be pushing. That should be where he's pushing him with on the dolly.
And then lastly, we have this. Alright, yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up. I don't know what this bad
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think that's good. All right, let's see.
Isaac, look at Discord.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
I'll do it after we finish.
Got it. Because I missed quite a bit, I think.
Okay.
The killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was... Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes.
Yep. Also, how do I get hair like
they
that? I
convinced
want
someone
that
to
hair.
meet them in the rec room last night at 1
You would
in the
need a
morning.
really long hair.
Yeah.
And then dreadlocks.
That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect.
Yeah.
So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo Justice suit.
Yep.
Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room.
Oh, and that's where Hifumi would come up with the name for Robo Justice, because I was like, wait,
And
that's the
that's
official
where
name. Where did
Hifumi killed
Hifumi
him,
get it?
making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason
Am I about to
Hammer
get
number
all this
4
right
was
first
used
try?
was to create confusion about the order of the crimes.
But this one was easy though.
So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims.
Wait, where did Isaac
solidify
go?
Robo Justice as the suspect.
Well, yeah.
Well, you guys didn't pause for me. He knows the game. Fuck off.
In the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo Justice pictures they'd taken.
Yeah.
They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise
No,
attack
I'm
story.
asking him though.
Oh yeah, he was all.
The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But
Welcome back.
while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the
Yeah, he's here.
nurse's office.
Yeah, okay, they literally, my brother was messing with my dog, and it caused and they bumped into the Wi-Fi and it turned off.
Oh.
Run on my hotspot because they can't because I don't know what the hell happened to the Wi-Fi, but it's.
Okay, we're on the closing statement right now, so didn't miss.
Yeah, I
This was
see.
exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered.
How did he actually get murdered
Screamed
then?
to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind.
Yeah,
for his
he's
final act.
dancing.
Now we did.
Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
Oh, looks like they're about to kiss.
A new ship has been born.
Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
Complete. We did first try without any mistakes.
Lost?
Wow. We're getting better at this.
I lost?
Uh-oh.
When was the last time I was forced to
Oh, yeah, 'cause
utter
she doesn't
such
lose.
words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Oh.
There we go.
Eiko?
So, you finally
I feel like
accepted
we've
it.
heard that before.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
Well, that's it.
I cannot believe that there are two people named Yasuhiro.
I mean, like, that's common, like, in even America, because you can get, like, people with, like, different or similar last names, and, like...
Yeah.
What's, like, a good example of that?
There's all sorts of first
I mean,
names that are also
literally,
just
like,
last.
my first name is, like, I'm Griffin, and, like, literally there are people, like, Peter Griffin. Like, that's why people name me so much. It's like, if you want an example...
Yeah, but like, what are the chances that two? No, I'm sorry. What are the chances two ultimates brought in the same school have the same name?
Okay, Monokuma.
Wow.
I'm ready to begin. Or, no. I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay? Okay.
This is the second time where the killers just accepted their fate.
If you would, please
Yeah.
locate your lever and cast your vote.
I'm a little...
And when the
see
votes
how
are
execution
tallied,
goes, but-
who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Yeah, the reason why I was like suggesting Kyoko and saying like that's how the game would go is just because in the second trial we had this first select Byakuya and then select Mondo.
Yeah.
It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct! The blackened this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme was... Celestia Ludenberg! Or more precisely, Taiko Yasuhiro. I cannot say it. Taiko?
Taiko, yeah.
Taiko Yasuhiro!
Honestly.
I lost. Well, how should I speak her voice now?
I would say right now she's not in her accent
I
anymore.
lost. Well, that sucks. I'll just try and do like my normal girly voice. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Ifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Hifumi with this plan. But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder.
I'm sure she relied on her I'm sure she relied on her specialty, lying.
My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get into a movie.
So then,
Sorry, I'm hotspot doesn't run out. Then, did you use, you know?
I don't know. I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Kifumi to act as my accomplice,
Indeed.
I used her.
We've name dropped her plenty of times.
For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but there's the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into. Does she mean? Is she talking about alter ego?
We've name dropped it like 50 times.
Well, he said that.
How do you not know?
What? What are you talking about?
Just
Thank
a
you,
second.
translators. Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here.
I'm totally out of the loop, as usual. Sad.
In other words,
Then you're the one that stole it?
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with.
Right again. Last night, after we had a meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Ifumi a little visit.
What are you doing here?
I love his room, is just funny.
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you. Or, I was hoping I could talk to you alone. It was about what was stolen. I know who did it.
What?
What?
are you okay with this?
It was Taka. He stole it.
What?
So
And
then,
I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I'd found a use for the digital camera. I'd taken, you know what, to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as I'd shown it to Fumi, of course.
Damnation!
So it was him. But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her.
You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
What?
as for me,
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh,
He did?
Oh, now Fumi's gonna be like, me strong protector.
as for me,
He came to my room last night unannounced and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
what?
What?
And he took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice.
Damnation!
That's a crime! An absolute crime! I knew he'd got a little crazy, but
Say what?
I never imagined he would go that far.
It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was.
I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life.
Completely unforgivable.
I'm going to kill him! I'm going to fucking kill him!
F-bomb counter by Hifumi.
most unfortunate.
Please, if you go now, you will be playing right into his ends.
Huh?
Actually,
Taka is planning to use her to escape, and he has made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean...
Taka is going to try to kill you.
What?
indeed.
And also, he can keep her to himself.
This is
That bastard!
completely unforgivable.
Bastard!
Honestly,
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts?
Absolutely not. How could I? She...
I swear,
I have to save her!
actually,
Then, would you like to join with me? It just so happens, I have come up with a plan.
Huh?
I have devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Oh, nothing. Hifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even though love is twisted as that, can still drive people mad, it would seem. You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. What was that strange costume from his creation?
indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that, but it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But
So, why did you decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid. That's it?
Let's see.
In that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though. I feel like I could cry.
Well,
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead?
What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that? Assuming you had actually let him live.
Are you okay with this?
That's simple. After he did his part and prepared to be dead once someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on.
And he really believed that?
Well, of course. That wasn't all there was to it. As I explained it to Fumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Fumi would have an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it.
That seems very straightforward. Stereotypical.
I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Fumi ate it up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death.
so in the end...
So you had planned to kill him all along!
But of course! There would have been no point to my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can a human life mean so little to you?
Well,
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder about that.
No, he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then, what made you take things this far?
What the heck?
Was it really just for money?
Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought has been escape.
But
But all along you've been saying how we have to accept living here.
You little bitch!
Obviously, that was a lie.
Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here.
You little bitch!
I wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture. And you want to know why, huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here that meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way that I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for me,
It was all for that dream. And what was this dream of yours?
isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. A castle? Oh. And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butler/bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
She killed two people for aesthetic.
Yeah, that does sound like Celeste. Living the rest of my life, it was my only dream, my only goal. Is what life is all about. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge, but...
There is nothing to be done.
Unfortunately, my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream to the end. So, why would I?
Just the worst.
You You sound so passionate, but you are really able to kill your own friend for it?
Oh.
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
Do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying, and plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared?
My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not just right, people. I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. And that's why you're not scared?
Yes, indeed.
That's right. I won't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice, then...
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
Hey.
You just get... you just get... How... I forgot.
Oh.
I can't say it, so I forgot his voice.
Yeah.
Celeste smiled then, which she did look to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement itself must have been her final lie, and that weak, fake smile is what betrayed her.
Kills! Chills! Kills!
You all done? Okay, let's get rolling. The black and disturbed piece. That must be the place.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
The ultimate gambler.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this. What?
This is...
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then, take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
I think she does care for people, but she just doesn't, like, she just tries her best not to. Like, she lies to herself, like they said, so I think she really does, like, have empathy for people, but she just doesn't like to show it. Ooh. Oh no, it's at the castle.
There's her
I cannot
cat.
see it. Oh my god.
Oh, those are Monokumas. The burning. Oh.
The burning of the first size witch.
Oh, dude. Dang it! I thought it was gonna be like a poker table. All I know about the Versailles is the Treaty of Versailles.
Oh, Versailles is also the palace that the what's it called? That the French royalty lived in. So like,
Whoa.
obviously with her in her castle.
Yeah. Okay, is she actually scared? We'll see. Oh. She'd be like, she'd seriously be like, this is fine. Oh, is that
There's the truck. She got this whole cool, elaborate thing set up, like this special thing, and then she just gets hit by a truck and dies.
Okay then.
Now, if we had gone to her free time
I did
event,
not see that.
oh,
If we had gone
That-
to a free
don't
time
worry.
event, then what?
if we had gone to her free time event, she actually like would have said that like if she were to die, she'd want it to be in like a super special way, like burning to death. So for that to like kind of start to happen, and then it's like a super mundane way to die, like getting hit by a car.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I should say I did not see any of that.
I know. Don't worry, I'll
So-
show it to you after.
Yeah, she got burned at the stake. We'll start with that. But
No, don't spoil it to me. I'll see it after. It doesn't matter.
okay,
Fuck
okay,
off.
Cool. Anyways, what I was gonna say is, yeah, we should have really spent it with Celeste rather than Toko, because Toko
Yeah.
gave us nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, I was very confused when it said you could spend free time with Jensei Jack. I'm like, wait, we could do that? I don't remember that. And then it didn't like actually do anything. I was like, oh, oops.
Well, we're not.
Well, I guess we can spend time with Celeste later.
And then Toko. Well, Toko's back to normal now.
Oh,
Maybe she sneaks.
I mean, she did just win as an execution, so
How many? We have 6 people left. Or no, 7, including Makoto.
yeah, 7 people are left.
The 3rd execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friends, so I can't pity her, but Also, can't deny that at one point I considered her a friend. For him to just come along and...
Hold up. Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and more people had to die.
Extreme!
You guys are still young. You need to place more value in your lives.
He contradicts himself so much because he's like, he says that and he's just like, things are getting too boring around here. Let's create motives.
What are you gonna do?
Jeez. And here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope for the next generation.
Let me out of here!
What do I care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you just let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but that's reality. It just can't be avoided.
Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us?
God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So, anyway. Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key type of object from Celeste?
Hey! Hey!
So, what's the deal with that?
What?
Huh? What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do to me?
Oh?
Ooh.
Oh. Jervy?
Yeah, did you not hear it?
No.
What?
Okay, there. Answer me.
Okay,
What did you do to my body?
I said it.
What?
Ooh, how exciting.
Okay.
Yes. Oh my god, lag.
Yeah, you're cutting out so much.
Oh, gee. What do you mean, what I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it.
What was that just now? Mastermind did something to Kyoko's body? What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kind of awkward. I think it's about time I go up here.
Well?
Meanwhile, you guys can go on and enjoy your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
See ya later!
See?
Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although, it wasn't all despair. It was one small hope. Hey, Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but what's that key that Celeste gave you?
So...
Most likely. It's the key to one of the dressing room lockers.
What? Then that means... Celeste probably hid it in there.
Hey.
I suppose sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we'd better go check.
Wait, do we eat? Oh wait, no, because there's 7 people left. I was gonna say, do we each have 2 characters left? Let me check.
No.
'Cause there's, okay, Jervy has 2. I have 2 now.
Well, I have 3.
Oh yeah. You have 3?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because he has Monokuma. He has
Monokuma.
Monokuma.
Well, of the students. But then Isaac, I realized you have 3 still. So.
3, and yeah, as long as we count Toku and Genocide Jack as 1.
Yeah. Okay.
Indeed.
Good idea.
We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. So we approached the dressing room. Kyoko looked back at us and said,
Hey.
I'm going to go on alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check in with you later.
What?
Lag. Why exactly? What are you doing? Why exactly are you going alone?
So...
Do you even have to ask?
As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the surveillance camera.
Come on.
That's not what I mean. Why you? Lagging. Please. There's still the risk of a spy, you know.
Then I'll go too.
What?
You?
Please, let me go.
Standing here arguing is just to draw more attention to us.
Goodbye.
Do whatever you want.
Thank you, Byakuya.
Well then.
Then it's up to you now.
Yo!
I'm gonna go to the dining hall, okay?
So Makoto and Kyoko are gonna go together?
More like, wait, how can I make a ship name out of this? Kyoko do.
Naigiri.
Kyoko
That's what everyone else calls it.
Does that mean what I think it means?
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a little. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's not what we're doing.
Everyone heads to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone.
Shall we go?
Well, shall we?
Yeah.
So then...
We need to get into that locker.
Kyoko took the key Celeste had given her and unlocked the locker. As the locker swung open, we saw...
You really came!
Good morning. Hold up, I got.
What?
It's been a while, hasn't it?
It's safe. Thank goodness.
I never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart.
I did just what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time.
So,
Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon. Maybe as early as tomorrow. I'm doing my best. So please wait just a little longer.
So now we can say we can officially say the case is closed.
As far as this incident is concerned, sure, but can we take a second? So we have this opportunity. I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me, what are you trying to do all on your own here at the school?
You...
Is that why you want to come here with me?
However...
Regardless, it's not something that you need to know right now.
I don't need to know? That just makes me even more worried.
What?
Worried?
Like what happened during the investigation this time. You disappeared and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. When you do that...
Indeed.
It's only natural to think that I'm the mastermind spy, right? And you too.
No! I believe in you.
What?
You believe in me?
Isn't it obvious? People believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends.
I understand.
It's true.
Then, maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more.
Then...
That's fine.
Fine, I'll tell you.
What?
I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see.
Oh. What I heard from Kyoko then was... Well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believe in her, she told me a story that was... well, almost unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she told me with my own 2 eyes, so I waited for nighttime to come. Bruh! When it did, I went into action. Oh. Oh. What are we doing? What? There's more?
There's more.
We're already at 1 hour 10, but let's keep going just so we finish.
Yeah, we can... The second trial, we went like an hour and a half, so... The boys' bathroom on the 2nd floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it. And then the storage closet there. Way in the back.
She said it was way in the back of the boys' bathroom storage closet, but could Kyoko really be right about this? Bro, we're
really not questioning that she went into the boys' bathroom.
Yeah, and way in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, is she about to kill us?
Oh, it's in the back.
What? Oh. Here?
There's the storage closet.
Just a normal storage closet for as far as I can tell. Secret Kyoko told me about. Could it really be hidden here?
There's a little weird indent in the wall.
Oh, I see it. She said it was way in the back of the storage closet. But I mean, seriously. Without thinking, I placed my hand on the back of the storage closet. It's suddenly as if it were being yanked in. Oh!
What?
We just moved the wall! At the same time as I heard that sound, I fell through the wall. I had no idea what was going on. I didn't even see the end down. Oh my goodness. I had fallen through the back of the storage closet. Huh? It turned out, the back wall was like a revolving door. I made my way to the other side. Just like Kyoko had said.
Correct.
In the boys' bathroom on the 2nd floor, there's a storage closet. And way in the back of that closet, there's a secret room.
So this is the secret room. But what's in here? Oh, we about to uncover something. Oh, so she didn't even come in here. Okay. Well, that makes it a little less sus right now. Because if she could potentially murder us, but you know, it's just a normal desk with normal drawers. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I have like some case files.
Could that?
There's a bunch of files that won't look like volume after volume of yearbooks. They're all covered in dust. Looking at everything, one file at the edge of the bookshelf caught my eye. Hope's Peak Academy Student Registry is the only thing in here not covered in dust. Has someone been looking at it recently? I slipped the file into my hand. But before I had a chance to look at it, a slip of paper fell on the file and I turned my attention to it. What's this? You must not leave? That's kind of weird. I can understand if it said like, I can't leave, but you must not leave? What is this? My head feels funny. The strange sensation. It's like deja vu. Those words, you must not leave. I've seen them somewhere before. But I can't quite remember. Because he probably lost his memory. What do I know? What don't I know?
Oh!
What? Oh! A strange sound raining out through my head. It felt like it was shaking my brain back and forth. And then, darkness. I understand what's happening. I don't know what started it. It's all over. With that, I opened my eyes. I didn't know how long it had been. Yuki.
Oh.
Ow. Apparently, something hit me and I lost consciousness. That's all I understood. The dual throbbing pain in my head proved that much, at least. Okay. Oh, everything's gone!
Oh.
Oh no, Makoto,
Who was that,
you
though?
fool.
But who was that?
Yeah. Probably the traitor, obviously. An empty bookshelf. Huh? Empty? Gone. It's all gone. Yearbooks, the student registry.
Or maybe...
Even a note that had fallen on the floor. What were you saying?
I was saying, or even maybe the 16th student.
Oh! It's all gone? What does this mean? But my brain refused to do any more work. The insistent pain in my head began to spread across the rest of my body. I feel it here now. I should go back to my room, get some rest. My body was heavy with pain, my mind heavy with thought. I dragged myself back toward my room. Somehow, I made it back to the first floor of the school. The further I walked, the more I felt. Things are getting blurry. I can't see in front of me. I couldn't stop myself from collapsing right there. And after that... So from a vast distance, I heard a sound. It was faint, but undeniable. The sound. It's coming from the gym? Oh.
Something going on
I
there?
desperately hauled my shaky frame toward the gym. The sound got stronger and stronger. Something involving Junko maybe, since she died there?
Okay.
What are they doing with her? Sounds like there's a fight going on in there.
No, it sounds like they're just dragging something. Here, keeping nothing. Here in the gym? Something else we got. Okay, just...
No, we're gonna check the trophy.
I'm just checking!
Let's see.
I didn't make a sound as I opened the door to the gym. The sounds coming from inside, meanwhile, only intensified that much more. Can you say that? They sound like the Reggies from Pokemon.
Oh! Oh, why?
Before me there raged a battle beyond anything humanly possible. No one's side's not human, that's for sure, but regardless, I couldn't stop staring. I forgot to move or even breathe.
Why, you? What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this?
I am Sans Undertale.
Yes!
How dare
Don't
you
get to my eyes.
me? This wasn't part of the deal!
Oh, the deal?
I've made a decision.
Oh.
I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret.
I mean, Sakura did say there was only one person stronger than her. I'm guessing that she was referring to our little Monokuma.
I don't know about
My
that.
decision.
Monkuma's on the
I don't know about that.
I'm going to resist you.
Okay, but you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
Oh. What am I looking at? What am I hearing? A hostage? Then could it be? The Mastermind spy is...
What?
Whoa!
Oh,
You said something was...
that's it.
I mean, Isaac, you literally told me to pay attention to... what's her face? Yeah, Asukina and Sakura and their relationship, but... Wait, I was... Oh, Super Robo Justice President, okay. Oh.
We have to. This is it. Like, this is the end of the chapter, and this means that we're not going to have another. Oh my god!
Oh.
Oh. Okay, we have to pause here because unfortunately that's all we have for this episode, guys. Because we are finished with chapter.
That was chapter 3, y'all.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we already saved, didn't we?
We did save.
Okay. So unfortunately, that's gonna have to cut it for here. But there will be more. So stay tuned and all that.
Bye.